Hello YouTube and welcome back to Allie's Wonderland Creations. I am Alice Seraphin and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Today's video is Step Cards 2.0, stepping it up a bit. We're using the Inspired Thoughts stamp set. And we're using some retired DSP because that's all I have right now. And so let's go over the two different card bases. Card base number 1 is 4.5 by 11, scored at 5.5, 6 3/4, 8 3/4, and at 10. The second card base is 4.5 by 11, scored at, oops, this is what I just had to stop my video and correct. So we don't want those 1/2 inches in there. We want 5, 7, 8, and 10. So let me show you some samples. And we have this one here, which is the basic step card. Okay. And then you have this one, which all I did was turn it sideways. This is the exact same card. I just took it from here and flipped it sideways. Didn't put any sentiments. These are samples just to show you what you can do. This is my low or wide base step card. I really like this one. This one, I just added an extra little bump in there because I was sitting here playing. So this is the one we're going to start with. This is the one that was giving me troubles on my measurements. I did the wrong. This you'll see, I use just some copy paper and I make myself a template. So let's follow my template as it is correct now. So let me put the lid on my pen. So let's move that up if I can. And I can't, I have to move this over to the side. Alrighty. So we cut our 1/2 sheet of cardstock at 4 1/4. We're turning it. We are starting our scoring at the 5-inch mark. We have the cutting blade way up here. I am out of the frame. Okay, let's do it this way. Cutting blade up at the top. This is my scoring blade. Scoring at 5. Moving it to 7, we are going to give it a score. Moving it to 8, we're going to give it a score. And moving it down to 10, we are going to give it a score. Now, this is my low base. Next card base, we're going to use the same DSP. I have one already. Basic black, just because I messed up on the crushed curry piece. So let's do the next card base. Bring this one in here. This one, we are going to start scoring at 5.5, 6 3/4. Now, you can change these steps up just by adding or taking away. We're going to 8 3/4 and to 10. Those are our two card bases. So let's put them together and we'll show you what they look like. I am using score tape for this part of it. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to move my templates out to the side here. So now I'm going to fold on the creases, give them a good rubbing down with the bone folder. Last one, and this is where we put our score tape. So let's do so. We're going to need 2 pieces on this one. And you'll be surprised if I can get my needle here. I'm going to need that. So we're just going to bring in my little coaster I keep my needle on. Use it like a pin cushion. So there we have it. Now you're going to see this is quite simple. We're going to fold this, okay, because it was like this when we put our tape on there. Now all I'm going to do is fold it over, opening it up, and I'm going to simply fold that over. It's that easy. And it truly is. Now what I'm going to do is open it and score it on both ends so I got a nice pocket going on. You can do it again just to make sure. Okay, so there is our step card number 1. Our second step card, let's get to this one. This is the one that is scored from here to 5. This is what I call my low step card or wide base step card, and that's because the base of it is 2 inches. So come to the last one here, and this is where I'm putting my score tape. I've used a lot of score tape today out here in my craft room. So we're going to just rub over those. And peel off the covering. Now for this one, same thing, open it up like so. And you can either close it this way or do it like I did and simply fold it over on itself. And there is my low base or wide base step card. Okay, now I am not doing any extra layers on layering these because I've done so many today, but let's get started decorating them. And did I already show you the paper we're using? Let's see. It was already cut because I like to cut my DSP at like 4, let me make sure, yeah, 4 inches, and then I keep it in containers. So this is what I have. We're going to use the same DSP on both cards. We're going to start with this card. Ooh, we have that one. We could use that too because it kind of goes with it, but that was from the previous one. So how I determine what paper I need. I know that this whole piece needs to be cut down to 3 3/4 because I'm not doing a layering piece. So I'm going to cut the whole sheet that I have. I had a sheet that was 4 by 6. So let's get to, I want to put my needle in here so I don't lose it. And I'm going to show you how I measure for this. So this piece is 4 1/4 by 4. So it's not going to be a square, all right? Oh, sorry. 4 1/4 by 4. So I want to take, do I want an inch? I determine this. Do I want just a 1/4 inch around? If I do, then I take a 1/2 inch off. If I want more, I take more, but I'm having a brain meltdown here, y'all. For this card, we are going to cut the DSP down to 3 1/2. That's going to give me a 1/4 inch border all the way around. So the first piece is going to be cut. I already cut it to 3 3/4 this way. I cut it to here, my DSP, right? So I only need to cut for this measurement, which will be 3 1/2. So turning the paper, we're cutting it 3 1/2. This piece then will sit beautifully right there. Now there is room to add another layer behind this, but for today's purpose of just showing you these different, what you can do with these different step cards, I'm not doing that. So next, to measure for your bottom step, because like I said, you can change this. You can look at it. It's 2 inches. So I already cut this the whole sheet. I already cut to 3 3/4. So from here to here is a 1/2 inch. So I need to take a 1/2 inch to fit my DSP in here correctly. So from 2 down to 1 1/2. So that's what I'm doing. There's 1 1/2. Now this piece is 1 inch. So I need to take a 1/2 inch off that. And I have 1 inch left. So that will just leave me my 1/2 inch. Let's see. I don't know why it's not butting up like it should. Right there. All right. So let me move that and bring in my pieces. You can start with any of them. I'm going to start with this little 1/2 inch piece and simply sticking it right there. Next is my 1 1/2 piece of DSP. And that is going to go on this wide part of my card base. Next is this piece, which was cut 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. There we have it. That's our first card base. Now let's get to gluing and cutting for the next card base. So the next card base, we need to once again cut my sheet that's 4 by 6 down to 3 3/4. Now I'm going to show you on here again. Okay, this measurement is 3 1/2. So I'm taking a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to take it down to 3. So it'll be 3 by 3 3/4. And this will fit beautifully right there. My next measurement, can't pick it up, is going to be right here. And I know this is 1 1/4 inches. This little part of my step right here is 1 1/4 inches. So I need to take a 1/2 inch off, which brings me to 3/4 of an inch. So that's what I'm doing. I wanted to make sure I cut this all going the same way. Okay, so 3/4 of an inch is right there. I'm going to move those. My next cut, this is 2, so it needs to come down to 1 1/2. So let's glue these on. They're coordinating spots. This time we're going to start with the upper piece, cut 3 by 3 3/4. And then I'm going to show you how to make some variations to this card. But I wanted to show you the basics first. Then I'm going to show you how we can punch it up some, besides adding a layering piece behind the DSP. Sometimes I use DSP to layer, but this one I just wanted to get it because I'm showing you 2 cards. All right, so there we have it. It's stunning in black. I like it with the crushed curry behind it, but I like them both. 2 totally different looks to the card. Okay, there's one, same DSP, just different way of making it. So to show you how I did this right here, I simply took the, oops, wrong punch. I've got a whole bunch out here. The Label Me Lovely, which is in the catalog. And I popped it in as far as it would go, hopefully getting it centered, and I punched that out. And actually we could do that on this one too and have it going sideways. Why don't we do that? We'll do, no, I want to do a little, I wanted to show you a variation. So we have that. Now, because I punched a hole out in my card here, you'll be able to see behind it. And I don't have anywhere to write. So I'm getting a piece of cardstock and putting it simply right there. So I'm going to take 1/2 inch off from there to there. This is 4 1/4, so 1/2 inch brings me to 3 3/4. Let's do that now. 3 3/4, and this is going to be by 4 1/2. Now I'm going to simply glue this down to the back. Don't put any glue in the center, at least not where the cutout part is. All right, next we have these little strips, which you know I'm going to use, don't you? Because I have them. Why not? This is just a little extra over. It's a 1/2 inch strip. That's going to be our back for our card. So I told you how I made that little extra pop up. Let's do so now. This is a piece I messed up on, so I'm going to use it. I am going to need 2 inches. And I'm going to need my trimmer again for scoring. And I'm going to score it every 1/2 inch. So I already have 2 scored. We're going to go another 1/2 inch. We're going to make 3 1/2 inch score lines. That gives us 4 segments like so, okay? You could make this wider. You could make it smaller. But this is how I made that little tiny bump. Like so. Just a little square is all I made. So why don't we do one a little wider? So we're going to do it. We need 4 inches to score at 1 inch. So let's do 4 inches here. And let's bring our cutter in again. Oops. Here we go. Our trimmer, if you would. Now I am going to score at every inch mark. 1 inch, 2 inches, and you know what? I made a mistake. That's not 4 quadrants, is it? Oh, it is. Okay. Let me set that aside just in case I want to go back to it. So let's and score these over. All right, so we can use either one of these boxes that we basically made. It's a box. Let's see what we like. This one, ooh, I actually kind of like that one. Okay, we're going to go with the bigger step. Yes, we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put score tape here and score tape there. You could use wet glue. It is up to you. I am just adding a piece here. Then I don't need it throughout the whole thing. I'm going to do a piece here and a piece here. On the inside and on the outside. This one needs to be a full piece. Was I trying to save tape? No. I was just trying to save from having to cut it. Okay. And I'm going to need my little needle that is in, yikes, right here. 1, 2, and then yes, we need to cut some DSP to decorate this. That's what we're going to do next. But first, we're going to get it where we want it to go. So, how am I going to do that? Well, one end, I'm going to start on this side. I am just going to simply line that up right there. The next time, I'm going to fold it like so, and then tuck it right into the groove. I'm going to open it up. You can see what I'm doing this way, hopefully. Just sliding it right there. And now I'm going to give it a good crease, both directions, just like I did. And I just popped off one of my little rhinestones, being a little too. Let's see if this... I told my daughter, I said, I put these nails on, my little rhinestones will be gone. Let's see if that will hold that on there. I love them. I think they're gorgeous, but I'm a little hard on things. So now we need some more DSP. We need a piece here, and we need a piece there. And that one could have got a little straighter. Oh no, it's tucked in there. It ain't going nowhere. But that's okay. I've got plenty. So I'm going to cut that down. I need 3/4 of an inch twice. I need 2 of them. So I need 1.5 inches. No, 3/4 and yeah, 1.5 inches. Cut to 3 3/4, and then cut 3/4 of an inch. All right. So now I'm going to have a piece here and a piece there. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. You can do so many elements on here. Let's see. I didn't prep any elements for this because I just wanted to show you all the different things you can do with this. So we do know that we have this, and it's going to be popping right there. But I had some butterflies in what was my leftovers. Where's my... There we are. One of the colors in this. I'm not really liking those at all. So might have to do... I wonder if this orange one will do. Actually, that's really kind of pretty. I really kind of like that, actually. Not sure, though. I wish this came in a crushed curry. Trying to think of what color I could do to deepen that yellow. You know what I could do is just use some crushed curry and go over this with a blending pen. So that's what we're going to do. Actually, let's use our Wink Estella. Why not? We'll make it sparkly all at the same time. We're going to use that brush. So I'm just grabbing some ink. Deepening up this yellow. Just using what I have available to me. That's already done. It's coming along pretty dang good, actually. I'm taking the deeper part of the color and then extending the color out. So let's continue with that. Get that deep dark color in the center. Brush it out. If you're watching me for the lighter part, I'm not going into where I've inked the ink pad. I'm going into where it's already been. Just layering that color on a bit. Reaching a little bit further in there. Should always start in the center and brush it outwards. I'm liking the butterfly much more now. I really want this really dark there. Let's do the tips kind of dark here. Doing that little deeper color around the edge. And now let's see what it looks like on there. Oh yeah, that goes much, much better. Okay, so I do not want to leave that since this has got alcohol in it. This is a water-based ink pad. So I'm just taking a tissue and I'm wiping that out. And then I'm going to take the tip of my Wink of Stella and brush it off. And I bet you didn't know you could fill this with more alcohol and you get more use out of your Wink of Stella. I do it all the time. Okay. So now let's work on, what do we have to go back here? I have some little bits and pieces. We're going to use, I want to cut this. Well, it's only going to give me one leaf, so let's just do it. Get over there where you can be useful. That was just some scrap paper I had. There's one. And we need another one. This was in my scrap bin also. It should give me a leaf. I want that behind it. Let's see. All right, so we're going to put this on one side or the other back here. So let's do so. I guess it doesn't matter. I don't know why I flipped it over. Habit, I guess. So it sits like so. Too much there. And this one, making sure that, yes. Okay. So let's put some right here. Now we're going to pop this piece up on dimensionals, but not before I'm wondering about putting some of that on there. But my first thought was to grab some gold from the Elegant Trim. Like 3 little wrappings should do. Now, you know me, I love my Scotch tape. If I can find my little Scotch tape buddy here somewhere on my desk, as I just had it. We're going to make some loopy-loopies on this right here. So, what kind of big ones? do like a figure 8. Yeah, it doesn't want to work with me. Let's get it a little straightened out. Okay. You know what? I think we're going to leave the ends out. We're going to do a zigzag, if you will. I'm trying to use one piece of Scotch tape if I can get all this on there. Or 2, it just depends. Okay, there's that piece. I do need a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. Like it, like it, like it. So I want this more like so. Yep. Actually, I could turn those here. I like that. I just don't like it that they're so long. So let's trim those a little bit farther down. Yeah, that will work. Now dimensionals. In the drawer, second drawer, right hand side. So let's get some dimensionals on here. And I'm actually going to place them in my cutout. Or should do it. Now you could stamp a sentiment actually on that, but that's not what I wanted to do. I just wanted that to be a focal point up there. We know we like our butterfly right here, but our sentiment's actually going to go down here for this card. So our butterfly is going to go right here. And we're just adding some glue to where we're going to adhere it down. Just like so. So there's our butterfly. Now our sentiment, let's look at what we have. Thinking of thank you so much would be absolutely perfect. So let's go with that. Oh, let's see. Turn this over so I can see them. I thought it said thinking of you. Thanks so much. All right. Or congratulations. Good work. Let's see. I'm a little afraid to stamp this because I got my sentiments here not so well on there, but we're going to go with it. And I have a little strip of white. Let me get actually my scrap in because I think I might have one that's thin enough to do what we need. Can try that one. Let me see what else I got in here. That one will be better. So move those aside. We're going to do this in Memento Black ink. And we're going to hopefully get this right where I want it. I can't hardly see in the camera, so let's see what we got. Oh, that worked out really well. Am I surprised? Yes, I thought I would have to do it 3 or 4 times. So next we're going to trim this down a bit. And that is not going to work. So let me put that back in its place. Set our card aside and we're going to trim this down. No, it's at a 1/2 inch. Well, it will be in a minute. That just looks much better. And let's go ahead and bring in the take your pick punch or something like that. One of the two. These are both still in the catalog. Let's see. If we move this in, I need to trim my paper down some on both sides. So And we'll take some more off of this end. And then we'll stick it in the punch. And I use it this way. I'm sliding it down in the groove. And punch. Sliding it out, turning it back around. Sliding it in the groove. And punch. That came out really well, actually. All right. Now let's set this like so. We're going to set it on the side. And we could really go out some more. So let's go bring in, I don't have a flower punch that's in the catalog, but I got this little one that's retired. And where is my crushed curry cardstock that I messed up with that I was just cutting? I don't want to bring that color in. I just want that piece of crushed curry back. Y'all saw me cut it with it, didn't you? Oh, there it is. It's sneaking, sneaky. So let's cut some little blossoms and see about adding those in here. Oops. The other one went on the floor. We're going to do some of these. And then where's my little bit of paper I have left? We're going to do a little bit of this with this little circle punch here. That, if you guys know, I love keeping my punches. So first thing I'm going to do is put a little dab of glue in the center of each of these little flowers I made. This may or may not work out the way I want it to, but we'll see. And I'm going to need a little bit of greenery for this. So I wish I could use the sprig punch, but I don't have it. Let's see. I want to use some of these. I'm going to be really stingy. Or let's see, I'm getting actually into my recycle bin and pulling out that little bit of scrap to see if I can punch some more of it. And I can actually. Let's see. And do I get any more in there? Oh, almost. Yep. Look at that. And we're going to get some of this here, which is the back side of some paper. And we might get a little bit, not all of it, just some of the bigger leaves. Let's see what else I got in my recycle bin from my projects today. If there's anything else I can utilize. Maybe not. Let's see what we can put together. All right. So my first thing I want to do is I want to now bend these over. Just working the paper a bit. Getting those petals to curl up. We're going to do that on all of them. Really work those petals. I'm kind of getting this point right down in there. Breaking the fiber up on the paper. Making it more pliable. And Stampin' Up! Has the best paper. So when you do that, you really do want to work this cardstock. Let's see. Don't forget, we still have another one. We're not going to do so much more detail, I think, on the other card, but I just can't help myself. Oh, there's the one I thought went missing. So we could put one there. Yeah. Okay. We're going to add this little detail right here to the back. Like so. Oops. Might help if I hold on to it, huh? And I am going to stick that one. Let me lay the card down so you can see right there. Next, I'm going to probably put this little leaf detail right there. And then use this one. Let's put a whole bunch of glue back there because I'm going to glue it down in a second. Well, I just got glue all over me is all I did there. That was a bad idea. Just put glue on it when you are ready for it. Okay, so right there. And this one, I think I'm going to bring it in right there and put these behind this. I'm going to cut the stems off a bit. I could do one there. I really just want the one right there. So pretty. So pretty. You know what would be pretty in there is a gold, let's see. Why do I have to change everything up? I always have to just think and think and think. Let's get some bling on here first. Maybe I won't have to do any more. Oh, I have these. We're going to put little brass butterflies in there. That will save me from having to go like find something gold and shiny. Let me bring in my little mat here. So there's one. I'm going to put 3 in that one. Just a little cluster of 3 just to change it up. Then I'm going to do a medium-sized one right there. And then let's get some of these brushed brass butterflies, a tongue twister at that. And these are going to be in, well, they are in the catalog. And we are going to put 2 of these little, we have one flying that way. We're going to put one there. And one right there. So that, my friends, is my little step card. Really pretty. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, let's set this aside. Let me put these back in there because I'm afraid I might lose some butterflies if I don't. And like I just did you see those? They just popped right off. I need to get this one before I lose it. My nail hit it. Well, it's stuck there. It's stuck pretty good. I will have to use some liquid glue when I use that one. Let's stick those in there. Okay, let's get to our second card base. Remember, this was my wide step, and we added the little bump step there, as I like to call it. Now let's see what we got coming here, this one. Now this one I showed you, either one of these. You can go that way or this way, and I really like this. I just do. Could do it this way too, but let's do it this way, and let's add a bump piece. Oh, I don't think I can add one there. Okay. I'm getting a little crazy with my ideas. We are going to get some from the Baker's Twine Essential Pack. We're going to get some black twine out. I know I'm going to be using that. And what punch should we use? Let's use the double oval or dual oval. It's up to you on what you want to call it. I am looking for my scrap box of neutrals that has black in it. That should do. I'm going to punch us one of these for our sentiment. I'm going to stick that back in my box because there's enough to do something with that. And I'm thinking, let me see, I think this butterfly here would actually go really pretty on this. So probably do something like that with this card as I'm starting to form an idea. And this is a scrap piece, really pretty, and we could stamp directly on there, but let's find a sentiment that will fit on this little oval. Hello is really cute. I love this little hello. Oh, it's so little to do, but it's so cute, and we could do some little rhinestones or something right like that. Or we could do you make a difference every day. That one fits better, so we're going to go with that, even though I love the wee little hello in this set. Okay, so let's get a block. And I have a piece of scrap here. I got to make some room. I also have a piece here. That's from that paper pumpkin. And let's get the memento out. Now I don't want a halo, so I don't want to push too hard. There we go. You can do so much with this. Okay, you make a difference every day. Punch it out. Now I was also looking at this I have on my desk. That would be pretty if you had fairy dies. You make a difference every day. But we're not using the fairy. It's just something that was on my desk. So let's add a little bit of black baker's twine here. In fact, we're just going to make a bow of it. If I can reach it. All right. It just wants to be difficult. We are going to snip it there. We're just going to have this line. I can make a bow. I know I'm putting my butterfly right here, so I don't mind putting my Scotch tape on the front. Except I would like them to line up, huh? Might help if they actually did line up. Okay. Sometimes nails are not, well, I lost it anyways. Let's glue this down. And if we could scoot it over, it'd be good, because that's not, we're gonna plop that there, our butterfly here. So let's get our butterfly on, and like I said, we're gonna put some dimensionals on here. I think 2 is all we're gonna need. I'm gonna put one on each side of my twine. And there is our butterfly. And you make a difference every day. It almost, you know what? We're going to do another piece of twine maybe. Nope, we're just going to pop that right there. Very simple. We can do this up on dimensionals. Simple card. No need to make it elaborate or put a whole bunch of stress on it, because it is, darling, just the way it is. And instead of doing rhinestones, let's use some of these classic matte dots, which are also carried over into the new catalog. And I happen to have some. Where's my needle? So we're going to put one there, and they really do stand out. And a large one right there. We could also do 2 more down there. Why not? Wouldn't hurt anything, would it? So 5 in total, just to, and that makes a big difference. It definitely needed that little oomph, and there you have it. So on the back of this card, we will also need a spot. I'm trying to get my dots back in their little package so they don't get messed up. So let's create a back panel piece for our card. And I'm just going to cut a piece of basic white for that. I'm going to move that aside. All this stuff. And I'm going to cut it 4 by 5, it looks like. Should be plenty. That will go in my scrap bin. And then I'll show you all the cards here in a second. Lay it flat. Love how it does that. Gonna pull it up, and then I'm gonna, you know it, I'm gonna use a piece of this already. Ta-da! We just need 1/2 inch strip or a 1 inch strip. It's up to you. Let's go a little wider on this one. And we're gonna glue this down. Like so. Okay, so we have a back panel. This is very simple. Now we could, I already put it, I'm like, oh, we could have done this and that, but I don't want to. Can you see it? It's so darling. And yes, it does sit like so. So let's bring in the other one we made. This one. This we just added a bump up into it, but this has the wider base. You can see them back to back. Ta-da! And I'll give you a shot at my other samples that I was playing with. Now this one is sideways, like so. Really pretty. This one doesn't even have a sentiment in it yet, but this I just added a little extra bump piece there to add this in. And my other little card here, see if you can see it. So cute. This just has 1/2 inch scored 3 times. So there you have them. You can do so much with step cards. I mean, just so much. You can tell I had a really good time today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, make a comment, let me know. If you would like to receive one of these cards in the mail from me, contact me either through my website on Stampin' Up, or you can contact me at Facebook through private messenger, and or at allieswonderlandcreations@gmail.com. And give me your address and I'll send you one of these. Please note that it's in relation to the Step Card 2.0. I'll be setting these aside with a little note for any of those who would like to have one. So let me know. Take care now. Bye-bye.